welcome to Niko's Mandarin Learning Studio. Today, let's continue our conversation about dimensions. Before introducing the sixth dimension, let's review the life forms we had experienced from the fifth dimension. In my last video of the fifth dimension walkthrough, I've mentioned that you were able to see your future selves along the two timelines. It means you get to see yourself being a doctor or a footballer. How exciting! Will it be more exciting if we get to experience the six-dimensional world? Of course! Here comes the idea of living in a six-dimensional world. From this point onwards, the simple mathematics of adding in another factor will not be efficiently in explaining the differences of a higher level of dimension. We will need to apply geometry from now. Back to that three-dimensional square. Now imagine that square is gliding through a timeline. In the five-dimensional world, in the same timeline, the square can glide backwards to any point of that timeline. But the limitation is, it can only travel along one timeline, back and forth, not being able to jump timelines. However, in a six-dimensional space, it will allow the square to jump the timelines. Let's use a human's life as a better example. Consider this human being has two timelines in front of him. One leads him to become a doctor when he reaches 30, and the other timeline has him becoming a footballer instead. In the six-dimensional world, not only this 30-year-old doctor can go back in time and make different life options at any point in time, but also he can jump to the timeline where he is a footballer and make changes along that timeline at any point he wants as well. Important note is, whatever changes he's made at any point of life will be affecting the rest of his life along that timeline. Such an effect is also called butterfly effect. Trust some of you has already seen that movie Butterfly Effect and understand the concept of it. Now, seventh dimension. If you can follow up with me for the sixth dimension, then the seventh dimension will not be so difficult to imagine. In the previous chapter about the sixth dimension, that human being has got two lives, one doctor life, one footballer life. Along these two timelines, he can travel freely to whichever point up to his own choice. In a seven-dimensional world, that human being will have infinite lives leading up to the point where he looks ahead. Whichever choices he's made at that point on that timeline will add in a new branch of that timeline. It creates an infinite number of timelines, an infinite possibility of lives. And of course, the seven-dimensional space has freed him up to travel across each timeline, back and forth. Consider that human travels across the two timelines using all the possible routes, which will eventually form a flat surface. Then in the seven-dimensional space, all the possible routes the human can travel will form a shape of a ball and will become a stereoscopic. Now let's try to upgrade the seventh dimension. Consider that ball shape of infinite timelines that represents the seventh dimension. The core of that ball, let's say it refers to that human being at the point when he was 5-year-old. By its side, let's find another ball shape of infinite timelines with the core being that human being at a different age. Say him at his 18 years old. We now draw a line in between these two balls and give the human ability to shuffle in between this line. Now, not only he's got the ability to get to experience every timeline starting from when he was 5-year-old, but also get to experience all the timelines starting from when he was 18 years old. Let's keep going. From the eighth dimension, the human has upgraded his skill to shuffle from one point to the other point. You can probably imagine what skill sets he gets to learn when he has been bumped up to the ninth dimension. Yes, now he can travel in between any points of age in his lifetime. Imagine every year of his life forms a point with infinite timelines stretching out, forming a stereoscopic ball in space. He now can easily switch his physical form to jump in between any of these balls, a combination of all the possible routes in the 9-dimensional space, will once again forming a bigger ball of possibilities. This ball contains every single possibility of lives this human being can possibly have. Are you okay with us moving on to the 10th dimension? Surprisingly, from here, things has gone more easily to explain. If we consider the ball of the 9th dimension contains every and all possibilities that human being can have, then the balls of the 10th dimension will be a much larger size of ball that contains infinite lives of infinite numbers of humans. It contains all times, all spaces for any items and possibly the entire universe. It is the infinity of all. And our journeys of discovering the theory of dimensions will stop here. Thank you for watching the video of me talking about dimensions. I would love to hear your idea and opinions. If you're also interested in the theory, please let me know. At the end of this video, I'd like to say thank you for your support of my channel for the last few months. I will continue to make videos for you. Please stay tuned for more videos to come by subscribing and hitting the bell button. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!